What is up, Starseeds? It's Sid, and as you can tell by the title, today I'm talking about the second trimester of pregnancy. So, I have already delivered my baby. I've got my son right here with me, so if you hear some noises, that is most likely him. But we are going to hop into this. So, last week I talked about the first trimester. The week after this, I'm going to be talking about the third, and I have some other pregnancy and parenting videos that are in my playlist in the link in the description down below. So please go check that out or any of my playlists out because I talk about a bunch of different topics on this channel like science and spirituality and all this stuff. So check that out if you're interested. But there was a couple things I forgot to mention last week in the first trimester of pregnancy video, which is a baby brain, which lasts throughout the whole pregnancy, progressively gets worse, and next week there will be a funny story about that. And after you have your child, this baby brain turns into sleep deprivation. So yeah, acne can last the whole pregnancy and even after until your hormones go back to normal, and mine have not. Um, Also, leaking of the cooch. Now, I'm not sure if this is pee, vaginal fluid, or amniotic fluid. You do not want it to be amniotic fluid because that can cause serious complications. So, talk to your doctor if you're not sure what this is. I talked to my doctor and I'm still not sure what it was. I don't know if it was pee or really liquidy vagina juice, but yeah. So in the first trimester, I actually did go to a doctor. It wasn't an OB, it was just like a regular doctor. So I could get I believe it's my HCG levels. I'm not 100% sure if that's what they're called. Like I said, sleep deprivation. But yeah, I just got my blood drawn and confirmed my pregnancy that way in the first trimester. But I did not go to the OB until I was 13, almost 14 weeks. So the second trimester is from week 13 through week 26. And because I was already in the second trimester when I went, they told me I was 16 weeks, which was like 3 weeks ahead of where I was actually at. I do know when I got pregnant, so that is how I know. But if you are going to go down like the medical doctor appointment and hospital birth path, you should go to the doctor as soon as you can, or else not only however often you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you you're like 3 weeks off, which is just kind of annoying. It's not really an issue. But once you get to the end there, when you're about to give birth, they might tell you that you're like past your due date when you're really not. So when I had him, I was really 38 weeks, like to the day, but to them, I was 40, almost 41 weeks. So yeah, they thought he was born late, but really he was born just a bit early. Um, Anyways, if you're in Michigan, you have to wear a mask when you go to the doctor, just like when you go anywhere. I don't know about where you guys live. Comment down below, actually. But my first appointment, which was in the second trimester, I wasn't allowed to bring anyone, just my body and, the person in my body. But no outside bodies were allowed to come in with me, just us. And but after the first appointment, I was allowed to bring one person with me. No kids were allowed to come. Like if I don't know, if I had a kid with me or something, they wouldn't have been allowed to come. Just the kid in me. But you can bring another adult with you. So Zach came to pretty much every appointment. And yeah, so at the place where I went for, doctor needs, OB needs, there's like a lot of different doctors in that building, in that office suite. So I tried to see like as many as I could. If there's someone that you get bad vibes from, then don't see them. If there's like one or two or three or four doctors you really like, then you can just keep seeing them if you want. But you never know who's going to be there the day that you have your baby. So it's good to, meet as many of them as you can. Let them know the situation. Let them know your birth plan. If you haven't already researched and came up with a birth plan, then you should really do that at this point. If you haven't already started a baby registry, I recommend Babylist. Start your baby registry because you're going to want to edit and edit and edit it, and the time is going to fly by. Like, I don't know how many times I said, like, okay, the registry's finally done, and then I edited it again. Like, I don't know. I probably said it was done like 10 times, and then I just kept editing it. But it got to a point where it was done finally, and yeah. Um, if you don't already have like pregnancy tracking apps, definitely get you some of those. So the Bump app is awesome. The icon is like a big B. And there's like articles that pop up every week, which you should read like around the time they pop up because you put in, when your due date is and all that, so it knows how far along you are and it gives you relevant articles at that point in your pregnancy, as well as like all of this good pregnancy tracking information. Pregnancy Tracker is another good app. The icon is like a baby and a heart. And I just like that one because it gives you a visual of your body and your baby's body and how it's changing every week. So I like those two apps, especially the Bump app. And there's also two good like daddy apps. Daddy Up, that's my favorite of the two, but also Pro Daddy is a good one, just to kind of give you a different perspective. Yeah. So I like those four apps. They're all free. And what else? So in your second trimester of pregnancy, you are going to feel a lot better than the first, okay? So I had morning sickness in the first trimester pretty much every single day right when I woke up. Like, it really was morning sickness, which is, it's not like that for everyone. But in the second trimester, my nausea pretty much subsided. And after week 14, so did my morning sickness. After week 14, I only threw up 2 times, and it was after I ate something. It wasn't when I woke up. So, yeah, you're going to feel a lot better in that sense. You're probably going to feel more exhausted. Some people say they're really energetic in the second trimester, but I was, because I wasn't as nauseous, but like on a spectrum of tiredness and just like exhaustion, I got tired quicker in the second trimester, but that was just me. I will tell you, in the second and third trimester of pregnancy, I felt less nauseous pregnant than I did not pregnant. Okay, first trimester doesn't count. That was nausea hell. But yeah, after that like couple first weeks of the second trimester, in the beginning you might be like, what the heck? I thought this was supposed to end. But it will, and once it does, you're just going to feel so much better. Like, I was a person who was nauseous not pregnant, but second and third trimester, like, I felt better than I did not pregnant. So hopefully that like helps you out a little bit, makes you feel a little bit better. Yeah, that's really the only physical thing. You don't really have any other physical changes in the second trimester. Your boobs might start leaking. Mine did not until the third, just 6 days into the third trimester, actually. So that could happen for you. It's very natural. It's very normal. So yeah. Also, another thing that happens in the second trimester, when you go to the doctor, you're going to have a 20-week ultrasound appointment. It's not going to be exactly when you're 20 weeks. It could be, but I was only 17 and a half weeks. It might be earlier than that, it might be later than that, but they try to do it around 20 weeks. And, I mean, the due date is not always accurate anyway, so you might be, more further along or not as far along as they say you are, but it's around 20 weeks. And even if you're like 13 and a half weeks, like how I was when I first went to the doctor, you usually can still see the gender. Like, once you get into the second trimester, like, you have a chance of seeing the gender. It's just once you get to 20 weeks, it's pretty much like accurate because it's so developed. You know what I'm saying? So, even though I was 17 and a half weeks, it was clear that he was a boy. So think about if you want a gender reveal or not, if you want to see when you go to the appointment, or if you want to wait. We had a gender reveal, but we still saw at the appointment because we wanted to take that in before all the friends and family found out. So think of how you want to do it. I have a video on how to have an amazing gender reveal during COVID, and I have a video on how to have an amazing baby shower during COVID. So, yeah. Since I felt so good in the second trimester, we went on 2 camping trips. We went on just a little overnight trip in the first trimester, which didn't feel great sleeping in my car, but it was a really fun trip, like a really fun trip. We went to a beautiful location in Michigan. So when we went camping twice in Michigan, it was awesome. The first time we brought the kayaks, and we kayaked a little bit, not on a river, on a lake, so that was much better. Yeah. And the second trip, we brought Cooper, the dog, and he was such a good boy. He did so much better than I expected him to, honestly. He only ran away once, which we got him, Zach got him, pretty quick. So that was kind of scary, honestly. But it was a really fun trip. They both were really fun trips. This was rustic camping, by the way. I peed in the woods multiple times a day, okay? I even used the outhouse a couple times. Okay. Yeah, you pee a lot more when you're pregnant because you drink more, because you gotta stay hydrated for baby and for you, and especially if you're camping. So keep that in mind. Yeah. That's pretty much it, you guys. I do want to say that, yeah, the coronavirus was going around my whole pregnancy. It's still going around now. But also in the second trimester, there was like this huge like spike, this like amplifiedness of the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been going on for a long time. But like it just like, because of everything going on, all of these innocent people being shot by the police, it sparked an uprising when I was in my second trimester, and there was like these peaceful protests and these like race riots, if you will. So this energy was just like surrounding my pregnancy. It still surrounds my son now. Like he's always gonna have this like strong revolutionary like energy about him that just like wants freedom for everything, everyone. And yeah. It's important to stay in a good, positive mindset when you're pregnant, which I talked about this concept a bit in my last video. Like I really wanted to go to these peaceful protests, like I really wanted to, but there was freaking police shooting people with rubber bullets, like in the eye, in the belly. You never know. Pepper spraying people. So I just could not bring myself like to go to those pregnant. If I wasn't, I totally would have, but I was pregnant, so I was like, nah, we can embrace this like freedom revolutionary energy at home. Yeah. So that happened. It was just like a crazy year 2020, and I was pregnant almost all of it. So yeah. That's pretty much it, you guys. Make sure if you're pregnant that you are staying in a positive mindset. You are staying safe, whatever that means to you. And I will catch you guys next week with my third trimester video. Please leave comments in the comments. Ask me questions that I can answer in my Q&A coming up in just a couple weeks. And I hope you enjoyed. Love and light, and the hybrid children are coming soon.